Tell me about your vision for this book.
That's such a, a generous question. All your questions are so generous. I was not, I have been married, happily married for 34 years. Wonderful. Jim Tye, yes. But we were not blessed with children, and it was just not in God's plan for us. But uh, n- we have nieces and nephews and godchildren, and we're Sunday school teachers and all of the above.
Mhm.
But I had such a blessed journey in my career, and it's not over. Again, you're so kind to have me on today, that I felt I could not. Usually, you get to pass that on to a child or children. And I certainly work to do that with the folks I mentioned, nieces, nephews, God. But I wanted it packaged and put in a way that it could go to people that I would never ever meet, because it was given to me by my parents. They raised me in a way to understand that generosity is goal one in
Yeah,
life. You
yeah,
give back
yeah,
before you take. And this is the way I can do that.
yeah.
One of the ways.
Yes.
But my vision is that this helps people I will never meet, and that they continue to help people that they will never meet. And it's just this beautiful circle that goes on through infinity. Oh, thank you. And it gave me a chance to say thank you to the million people that wove their hands together and said, step here. And this is my way to weave my hands together and say, step here, let me lift you up. And this is a perfect time of year for people to feel ordinary,
Yeah,
right? It's the beginning of the year. Oh my gosh, I rush to get everything done by the end of the year. And look, uh, and we've got terrible fires in California, and those people are having to start over. And then you've got terrific cold, all the way down to Houston, Texas, and it can be it can be a tough time of year for everybody, because they've got to get started again. Their pants are too tight. There's a lot of stuff going on in January. As I read a couple times, January is just a series of 30 Mondays. So this is a nice time to go back and pay yourself the due
yeah,
of spending time on yourself
yeah,
through self-care, through reading, through reassessing how fabulous you are, and reminding yourself that you deserve time on the stage too, whatever that stage is. I love that pat on the back. That is a great way to spend January. I've tried to do something every day this January, and that is, in my quiet moments of the morning, I've tried to practice gratitude, and to the simple things.
mhm,
There's a warm cup of coffee on the bedside table, from just waiting for me to inhale it, and enjoy it.
yeah.
There is a blanket of beautiful white snow in Houston, Texas, and that is magical. I used to live in Houston. That is magical for Houstonians, and so there are so many blessings that are happening. Don't beat yourself up about the 5 pounds you gained, or the silly, the I don't know, the silly things, as you said, that we feel like we have to have all this perfection in January. No, you don't. You're right. I made it through last year. Pat myself on the back, and let's ease into this beautiful new year with gratitude.
Absolutely. And it's not easy, and I'm sure we can testify together that it's not easy. We're just saying it's an option, and it's a better option than the latter of beating yourself up about what you did not do or trying to set new goals. And as you stated, your career has been, for 40 years and you're still going. How did you get started?
People were so kind to me, and they've done this to you, and you've done this for others. I know they saw things in me that I didn't see in myself.
I love it.
And so I got started in a career that I resolutely rejected, when I was told, after my aptitudes test back in the day. My aptitudes pointed to the one perfect career match for me, and that was to be a life insurance salesperson. And you tell a 16-year-old that, she's going to burst into tears. And, and exactly what I did. And I resolutely rejected it until 10 years later, I found myself one of the top insurance salespeople in the country, because it's not the insurance sales that was my mission. It was helping people talk about something they didn't want to talk about. Nobody wants to talk about death and dying, but if you are a business owner, you want to take care of your partners if you something happens to you, if you're a parent,
Yeah.
if you're a spouse. So what that pulled out of me was that generosity, that deep desire to give people advice, to give people counseling on
Yeah.
something that they may not want to deal with, but I can do it in a gentle but affirming way that says, we've got to deal with this and let's do it. And I became very successful at that. And it started me on my path. I ended up retiring from Humana, a nationwide insurance company that most of us know, through Medicare Advantage, Medicaid, and et cetera. And it was the same theory. It allowed me to work on analytics, which I deeply love. That's something that lights me up, numbers, business, et cetera. But it's, as our tagline used to be, it's guidance when you need it most. It's
Mhm.
being there in life's most difficult moments, but you've got to prepare for it,
Yeah.
so that it doesn't take you down.
Yes, and that's so truthful. I just a little bit about me. I'm
Please.
in San Antonio, Texas, and I came here as an organ, tissue, and eye coordinator. So
Ah,
yes,
how
no one wants
beautiful.
to talk about death. No one wants to talk about any of that, and it's crazy how your life, whatever you reject, you more than likely will be. it's
Yeah.
like, it's that thought process of like, I never thought I would be doing anything like this, and then your journey says it's not the actual title in
Right.
which you're in. It's the love and then the innate beauty that you have in yourself to be able to communicate what some people will not want to talk about. And it's yes,
Exactly.
yeah, yeah, and
You
you
know exactly what I'm talking about. You know exactly. That's a beautiful compliment to this. I mean, and such a needed part of society, and such a generous thing
Mhm.
to do.
Yeah,
But people put that off. They don't want to talk about it until somebody does it with passion, compassion, and probably a lot of strong factual data.
yeah.
I'm sure you did that as well.
Yes, and when you speak about, just truly being ordinary and then your journey on how you got started, it's amazing because your journey was already set for you. You just had to accept it. You know what I mean? And so when people often try to figure out their own plan, their plan ends up going a little differently than we choose or we expected it to go. So, with ordinary to extraordinary, what are the takeaways you would like for your readers to see?
The, one of the biggest ones, I've already mentioned that, everybody can, if I can do it, anybody can do it. But the other is, your career is a long journey. It's a long game. I mean, mine is 40 years and counting. But unless you are independently wealthy, you're going to need to work. You're going to need an income producing, life.
Yes.
And I fear that there has been a dismissal of the importance of a career journey, that it's more of a gig, that
Mhm.
it's something that I gotta do. And that's a long time to do something that you gotta do, right?
Yes.
It's not as easy as brushing your teeth, right? It's a commitment of 40, 50, 60 hours a week. So respect it, respect it. It is, I think of it as a journey that is almost as important as faith, family, and health. It
Yeah.
is right beneath those. But guess what? It undergirds all of those.
Yeah.
Without a successful career, I could not do what I want to do in my faith journey, and that is, you know, give back, support. I couldn't have been as comfortable in my family journey. It allowed us to have a life that we feel is custom for us, which
Yeah.
is a beautiful thing and probably helped in the 34 years.
Yes.
Um, and then health. I know that it keeps me mentally
Mm,
clear and physically vibrant because I've got to meet the demands of a long, tough week. And
absolutely.
I've got to be there for a team that needs me. So I want people to put more respect
Mhm.
in that career journey because, and to really actualize it as a long game, not a gig.
Oh, I love it. Long game, not a gig. And so, without taking up most of your time, I have a favorite question that I love asking everyone.
Okay.
What are the greatest joys of what you do?
Giving back, generosity is something that I absolutely love, and it comes in so many different flavors in the day. This is general. You are being so generous to me, and I'm so thankful. And so I am going to be generous right back to you and follow and share because we're on the same vibe. We're in the same game. So all along the day, joy comes to me when I solve a problem, when
Mhm.
I wipe a tear,
Yeah.
when I give somebody a supporting pat on the back, like you mentioned,
Yes.
when I get to send my husband off for a weekend and know that he's going to have a joyful, fun time
Yeah.
where he's going, that feels so good to me. So and then I get to go to church on Sunday, and that gives me great joy. And we actually have a long afternoon church meeting to
Mhm.
see all the different places we are doing work. That will give me great joy, and I hope I insert myself in several of those. So I hope that answered. Generosity is my jam.
Absolutely. I love it, love it, love it. And I thank you so much for choosing to spend this morning with me. It's been beautiful speaking with you. The background sets the ambiance of what your heart desires and the passion that you have within in your journey and in this book. Patty, would you mind sharing with individuals where they could purchase your book, your
You
website, and as well as your social media handles?
Absolutely. So it's my name is Pattie Dale Tye, Tye, and it's a very easy website. It's pattiedale.tie.com, PATTIEDALE.com, TYE.com, sorry. And the book Ordinary to Extraordinary is on Amazon, but it's also at Barnes and Noble. And I think those are all the PD at PattieDaleTie.com is how you can get in touch with me.
Thank you for being here today. I'm really happy that you tuned in to Vision Pros Live. I'm looking forward to seeing your reactions as these episodes continue to move forward. This is going to get more and more fun. We'll have more and more engagement as well. We'll invite people to participate in the show. And thank you for giving us your time and attention. Have an excellent time building out your vision and becoming a vision pro yourself.